Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is artificial intelligence that driving the future of software development. In a report, we discuss about with the increasing digital transformation, the need for custom software is also increasing. AI in software development is impacting the each phases of the software lifecycle, enhancing and automating the traditional processes and improving productivity through speed, quality, and test and cost. The artificial intelligence revolution is silently brewing in the way we think about and write those software, particularly the next wave of AI driven software development. You often find those statements like AI is eating the old traditional software system. We are not sure about, but one thing is true that AI is changing the way software is written. Imagine the traditional flow of software development. The programmer identifies the key areas, those algorithms, those patterns, approaches to solve the problem, and subsequently write those appropriate code. In this workflow, all the hard work of coming up with the approach to the problem rests firmly on the programmer's responsibility. But imagine a slightly different condition where AI algorithm is providing with example of expected inputs and outputs. Using this information, AI determines the correct algorithm or approach that could result in different input being transformed into appropriate output, and our programmer becomes a little less put upon in the process. Programmers are painstakingly and carefully design those software systems, instruction by instruction, in a process that can be slow, hectic, tedious, and error prone. But with a new development in AI sector, all this changing, instead of programming instruction by instruction, the industry is moving to a paradigm of programming example by example. Many example of what we want the program to do can be collected or not to do and labeled using a simple scheme. And these examples are then fed to a machine learning algorithm that trains our algorithm. At the end of these processes, a trained model appears that can be used as a program. The software industry, on the same level, has started to accept these ideas. It is no longer a question of whether AI will change the way we write those softwares earlier. It is just a question of when. One of the important ideas facilitating this new way of programming is neural network. Multiple layers of neural network are used by deep learning of extract and transform those data. Each neural network layer takes its input from the previous layers and progressively define those areas, and the layers are trained by algorithm that minimize those errors and improved accuracy. And this way network learn to perform a specified task, and but it can be designed to perform any task if it has some previous experiences. Examples in these techniques allow us to devise very complex instruction with the help of examples. This is something that even a very smart programmer would struggle to do. Some expert of AI field said that right now the software industry is only at the start of the AI transformation. Currently, there are a lot of simple deep learning tool widely available, and the field for deep learning engineers is growing to match AWS Sagemaker or Google AutoMLare, well-known example of tools to help build AI programs. Tensorflow, Pytorch, and many other libraries and tools are beginning to create those ecosystem of deep learning technology, and these are exciting times. We expect more and more tools to become available and further spur the AI automation revolution. Using this deep learning process, we can automatically create those programs, but these programs look very different from the traditional program we are used to seeing in older programming language like C, Java, or Python. These deep learning programs are simply a collection of numbers, lots of them. Seriously, whatever you are imagining is not enough. We are talking millions. These numbers make up important parameters of the neural network. Using these numbers, we can reconstruct a neural network to complete any task. AI programs are design specifications of those neural networks, and whoever has this collection of numbers can build a neural network that can solve the specific problem it was trained to do. It is a lot of think about, but we need to get used to this idea. It is a strange to think of programs that look like a collection of numbers, but there is a future of AI driven software creation. Some experts also mention that developers are using AI during planning and design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Some phases, such as testing, have more mature AI than others, but there is a noticeable AI footprint in each phases. There are growing use cases for security and other purposes also. Artificial intelligence is to make software development easier. The 90-90 rule of the software development by some experts from Bell Labs stated that the 90% of the code account for the first 10% of the development time. The remaining 10% of the code account for the other 90% of the development time. This implies that developers initially address low or medium complexity features. This builds all major features of the software. However, the remaining 10% are highly complex features and hence require the most effort and time. AI intervention at both the ends of this spectrum helps make the complete software development lifecycle much easier. It learns from data, and the more we used it, the smarter it becomes. Companies and the coders are increasingly using AI to aid software development in the everything from writing and reviewing those codes, detecting bugs, and testing softwares, to even optimizing development project. AI has a huge impact on software development and it poised to enhance software and application development. Quick prototyping is an area where user experience have designed in AI-based tool and can be used effectively. Hand-drawn wireframes can be quickly converted to clickable prototypes. Mainly open and commercial tools are available in this space. Some Microsoft example that sketch to code is an example of computer vision approach to identify controls and layout from hand-drawn images and generate HTML5 codes. Architecture and design in this sector is exclusively done by humans, as complexity in mapping a business domain and design trade-off impacting the each phases of the software lifecycle, enhancing and automating the traditional processes and improving productivity.